Well, it looks to me like we're having a dangerous severe weather outbreak developing as we move into this Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. We're going to start across the central U.S., and this threat is not just going to be here. It's going to push to the east. So now we're looking from the Great Lakes, places like Michigan, all the way south along a frontal boundary that will push off to the east as we head into Wednesday. So we're not done with the severe weather. Take a look at the simulated infrared satellite. It shows this explosive storm development across Kansas today. The big threat here is going to be this long-lived line of thunderstorms that will likely develop as we head into the afternoon and evening, and that will really engage with some damaging winds. They could exceed 70 knots, so close to 80 miles an hour at times, I think. Storm Prediction Center talking about that too. And wherever you get those outflow boundaries, there could even be a few tornadoes. This cluster pushes east tonight. It does weaken early Wednesday morning, but I think you watch these as they move east, even into Missouri. And now heading into Wednesday, we watch this threat. These storms will fire up ahead of our cold front. Also, an area of low pressure is moving toward the Great Lakes. I think the concern with this is you've got all of this spin around this area of low pressure. You've got your winds aloft coming in like this, winds coming in like this, the surface into the low. So your tornado risk going up a little bit, especially here across southern Michigan, northern Indiana, northern parts of Illinois. Further to the south, we also have a tornado threat here as well. It's maybe not as pronounced, but it's definitely there. Your highest threat will be as your low moves here. Surface winds veering in like this, upper level winds going this way. So boom, there goes your highest tornado threat for the Great Lakes region. We'll look at all of those risk areas in just a moment here on the Storm Prediction Center map. But one thing's for sure, a lot of high dew points into the 60s, some places getting close to 70. And that's the humidity, the moisture you can feel, that you wear almost, if you will. All right, let's jump over here to the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. You can see this here across the Central Plains states. This is the area of major concern today. There could even be a few strong storms into parts of the mid-Atlantic, especially as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. But let's zoom in just a little bit here across parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, back into Colorado. These storms will initiate heading into the afternoon and head east. Again, they're going to cluster up. You're going to get outflow boundaries with these, and they're going to start to just build upon each other. A mesoscale convective complex is going to develop. It's a cluster of thunderstorms, and you've got a 4 out of 5 risk here of seeing some really big storms going on and severe weather. Now look at this. This is even more impressive. This just shows you what we're looking at. You have a hatched area here from eastern Colorado stretching all the way through Kansas. It does include parts of northern Oklahoma, which I think there is a risk here as well, and then pushing east tonight, heading into Missouri. They'll likely weaken overnight, but you're still going to want to keep an eye on these even once we get through the evening hours. Take a look at the tornado risk. It's not zero. It's not off the charts, but clearly when you look at the primary risk, it is the damaging winds, which is this right here. But back to the tornado risk, highest across Kansas today, those outflow boundaries along the edges of those thunderstorms. There could even be some supercells out ahead of the main line that develop into a few tornadic supercell thunderstorms. Further to the east, this now is the risk for Wednesday. Date is always above me on the timestamp of these videos, and if you're just joining the live video, you can always back it up and take it from the beginning, or subscribe and come back and watch these videos when you can. We're looking from Michigan on Wednesday, all the way down into Arkansas, and even further south and west into parts of Oklahoma again, and northern Arkansas for that severe weather. Your main risk here again would be tornadoes. Damaging winds too are going to be a threat on Wednesday, but I think the tornado threat is definitely a little bit higher heading into Wednesday. It wouldn't shock me if we start to see this change a little bit heading into this afternoon, maybe even by tomorrow, as some of the short-range models come into agreement for what's going to be happening. And then on Thursday, all of this shifts east. So now we're looking at severe weather as far north as Vermont, parts of New York, and then all the way down into the mid-Atlantic. Let's start with the future radar. We're going to begin across the northern plains, and we'll work our way across the entire country pretty quickly here. Storms ongoing through the evening hours and tonight, even across Nebraska. Some of these could get strong. The strongest risk will be further to the south, but at those storms moving through Iowa too with some heavy downpours. There's a look at your temperatures this afternoon here. Let's go to where the strongest action is going to be today. We primed the pump, if you will, after an initial round of showers and storms this morning. The atmosphere is going to recover pretty quickly as we head into the afternoon. And then once we get toward the evening hours, the time above me is Eastern time. So take an hour off for Central. So you get the idea. 4, 5, 6 o'clock, we start to see these storms initiate. They cluster up. And then by 7, 8 o'clock tonight, we've got a line of storms racing through Kansas. Damaging winds. Look how the 3K NAM is trying to show this bowing segment pushing right across the state, straight towards Kansas City. So, once you get towards 9, 10, 11 o'clock, you've got this large line of storms, and on the end of it, you could have bookend tornadoes. So it's not just a damaging wind threat here. Further to the south, these are having a hard time extending very far south into Oklahoma. It looks like the northern part of the state is the area of highest risk. And then once we move toward 1 a.m. central, these are now moving into central Missouri, also into parts of northwest Arkansas. Now we're looking at Wednesday. We start to see things settle down early in the morning, and then more storms start to fire here heading into Wednesday evening, a little bit further to the south. So now we are looking at southern Oklahoma, the rest of Arkansas, and then southern parts of Missouri, and these could cluster up and move into western Tennessee and western Kentucky. And we're going to move this map east in just a moment, but there's a look at your afternoon temperatures here. Let's go toward the Great Lakes, and let's talk about this tornado threat heading into tomorrow, Wednesday. This is a look at today. Relatively quiet, at least across parts of the Great Lakes region. There could be a few strong storms pulsing up heading into the morning hours with some downpours, and then maybe even through the day today across parts of Michigan. These don't look too bad. The strongest storms today, I think, need to be watched here into the mid-Atlantic, which we'll look at in just a moment. Low pressure moving toward Iowa, toward Wisconsin. Some rain out ahead of this. Parts of Wisconsin, this looks just like rain for you guys. The severe risk is on the southern side of this system. And then look at all this spin in the atmosphere. Your low is here. Here's your front doing like this. Winds coming in from the west, southwest, and boom, there go your storms. And you can see how everything is curling around this low. So I think, your tornado risk is a major concern here across southern parts of Michigan, back into Indiana, and maybe even northern parts of Illinois with this type of setup. Severe storms also possible further to the south across Illinois and Indiana. This all starts to calm down somewhat late Wednesday night into Thursday, and this pushes east. And now we look at our severe threat Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening further to the north and east. And there's a look at your temperatures. Let's go south now, if we will. Heavy rain. It's so humid across the south. We're going to see more downpours across Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. The severe threat in this region relatively low, but you do have a disturbance moving through that will drop heavy rain with all of this tropical moisture. You just don't have the upper level support for the severe storms that you're seeing just off to your north and west. Man, you just can't ignore that. Even when we're looking into the southeast, you see just this massive area of storms swinging out of Kansas into Missouri tonight. All right, heading into tomorrow, we've got some decent weather to start if you're looking for dry weather, but the storms fire up again into the afternoon across the southeast. They're going to be widely scattered. Your organized storms certainly to the northwest of this region, but the front drops to the south. So once we head into Wednesday night to early Thursday, showers dropping into Tennessee, and we do see some drier weather moving into the upper Midwest as our front pushes towards the coast. And here's a look at your temperatures on Tuesday afternoon. Certainly the clouds keeping things cooler across the Tennessee Valley. To the northeast we go. More rain. Low-level flow off the Atlantic, keeping it cool here in southern New England and really across a lot of this part of the country. Showers here. The strongest storms, though, I don't want to miss the mid-Atlantic. Heading into this afternoon and this evening, I think you've got to watch right here we go. Parts of Pennsylvania, down into Maryland, and here into parts of Virginia, too. There could be some decent storms in this area today. I'm clicking all over. I'm trying to go back to the severe weather outlook for today across the east. And this is live, by the way, so if you're just joining, you can always take it back and go from the beginning and check it out. But yeah, so the Storm Prediction Center has this area outlined for a marginal risk of some severe storms today. Tonight, that settles down, and then heading into tomorrow, more rain showers and storms moving northeast. So we may get some decent storms now moving into parts of New Jersey and New York. Here's a look at your temperatures today. Again, cool across the northeast. Numbers down into the 50s. Barely getting, I don't know that we get to 60 in many of these areas with the clouds and the showers around. Across the west, it's hot. Stays hot here too. High pressure in the upper levels, keeping us dry. And mega hot too in the southwest, well into the triple digits. The Great Basin, we're baking here. Okay, that's all I got on this video. Take it back from the beginning if you're just stopping over. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.